There is blood in the streets this week in crypto. Bitcoin is down 13% on the charts. But what the market has showed us over the last couple of months is this is actually a huge opportunity for you to accumulate the cycle leaders. In this video, I'm going to give you my levels on certain altcoins that I want to be accumulating and what is causing this really cataclysmic quick market collapse with 13% down on Bitcoin on the weekly charts. We'll talk about that and more in this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. No clean transitionary intro today because we actually are starting a new journey on this channel. So if you are watching today, this is the beginning of In the Money. Obviously, we have been in the game for quite some time, but the crypto gaming niche just did not materialize the way we thought it would, and that's just purely honest. Moving forward, this will be your one-stop shop for everything crypto and prediction markets. We have you covered here on In the Money. In the Money means, if you aren't privy to investment terms, means in profit. So that's what we aim for every single day here on In the Money, and that's what we're going to be shooting for. So like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more every single week here on In the Game. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. I'm so used to saying in the game on In the Money. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. Bitcoin down 13% this week, which is actually crazy. You know, we were really trending nicely back up towards that 80K level, it felt like. And then we got this news that Michael Saylor was potentially going to sell some Bitcoin. And then on the 31st, he officially pulls the trigger on selling Bitcoin. And yes, we do talk about Cramer as a top or bottom signal any single time he buys crypto or sells crypto. But at the same time, he is saying Michael Saylor murdered Bitcoin. And right now, that really is the case. I mean, the stock market has still been going absolutely ballistic at this point in time. And then the timeline here, MicroStrategy is facing its biggest unrealized loss in history at $10.8 billion. In other words, 6 years of buying Bitcoin, the company is down 17% on its position. By comparison, the S&P 500 is up 116% over this time frame. And that's an index of the whole market, let alone some of these AI stocks and tech stocks that have done crazy numbers in short periods of time. Since MicroStrategy sold 32 Bitcoin at 77,000 per coin, their positions have actually lost $11.8 billion in value. This puts the stock down 77% since its record high. Now, I want to point out a couple things. I don't understand why Michael Saylor did not think that selling Bitcoin would cause Bitcoin to go way lower. I mean, he is the one guy that's paraded and championed over the course of time that he's never going to sell Bitcoin. This is the reserve currency. There is no second best. He doesn't want the stock market. He doesn't want Ethereum, altcoins. There are no altcoins to Mr. Saylor. It's just Bitcoin. And then to think, okay, it's only 30 Bitcoin, right? We're not going to dump that much. Maybe they won't care. I mean, of course, the crypto market's going to react. Like that 32 Bitcoin that he's selling to cover his dividends or whatever the case is. I mean, now they're down $11.8 billion on that certain amount of time period. So it's just crazy to see the downfall of what's happening with MicroStrategy. And it really does almost feel like an unwinding. And if MicroStrategy goes under, we might really see some lows this bear cycle, but it will be healthier for Bitcoin moving forward. I really do believe that if that was to happen, but obviously I don't wish that to happen. I hope that they can get out of this. I do think Michael Saylor is a brilliant theoretical mind, but the execution so far has definitely been lackluster. Let's dive into the altcoins. Obviously, I think there's a lot of good buys across the space in the altcoin sector right now. We see stuff like Sol down 15%, Doge is down 10% on the weekly. We have Chainlink down 12% on the weekly. Stuff like Avalanche and Sui down 15% respectively. Randomly, we have WorldCoin pumping off of Arthur Hayes' endorsement. And we'll talk more about Arthur Hayes in just a second. But I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that is BitGet. So you can check out down below to join in on the BitGet exchange. But they did just launch, we're talking about the stock market being in a bull run. They did just launch BitGet Stock 2.0. Now, these are real stocks that are tokenized and backed 1-to-1 by actual underlying shares. Stock 2.0 is powered by reality, and 𝗏𝗏's regulated platform for tokenized real-world assets. It pays you real dividends directly in USDT, and you can trade stocks inside the 𝗏𝗏 app or the desktop application. It gives you direct access to the actual liquidity on the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, and these tokens can be used across the 𝗏𝗏 ecosystem as margin. Their exchange combines crypto and traditional assets, so 𝗏𝗏, one-stop shop for stocks and crypto. You can check out the link down below in the description if you're looking for a centralized exchange to trade on in 2026. Now, let's go ahead and jump back into the content. We have some news across the board. We have Arthur Hayes, and he has championed Hyperliquid. He has championed 𝗫 Protocol. He thinks that, these coins are great. He gave a $150 price prediction on Hyperliquid. To be completely honest with you, I bet that comes true, but it's not going to come true in the short term. And now he's coming through and dumping. He announced this on his Twitter that he has exited every single coin that he held in Hyperliquid and 𝗫. And those were his two recent shills, citing rising energy prices, upcoming AI mega IPOs, and expecting market highs to peak before September. And, you could take this two ways. He is a pretty savvy investor, and he does pick very good coins, but I don't think the timing is quite right here. I think that you probably hold on to these for the foreseeable future. Wizard of Soho says crypto is really only hype, VVV, and 𝗫. Everything else is trash. And we look across the board here, added more to 𝗫, open position in Tau. And also looking at Grass and Arrow. VVV is my largest position, got in low, so I'm not touching this. I more or less agree. Like when you look at what's happening with Hyperliquid, this thing has absolutely crushed this month. And anyone on this channel, if you guys have been buying alongside me at $27, $35, $40, those DCAs on this way up, I mean, you should be absolutely printing on your hype positions. I have no plans to exit Hyperliquid anytime soon. I think in the future, you will see this coin trading at $100+. 𝗫 Protocol as well, like 𝗫 is just now catching momentum. If we go find 𝗫 Protocol, it's the #1 AI altcoin in the space. And I actually, like I tweeted on top of this Arthur Hayes tweet, this makes me infinitely more bullish on Hyperliquid and 𝗫 Protocol. This type of thing, dumping every single coin. If the market trends back up at any given point in time, I feel like we're going to see these coins rise again. And that's the ultimate underlying point of this video. We talked about this last month when we had a big dip in Bitcoin. I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin chart here really quickly, and we'll take a look at the exact moment that I mentioned this last time, and I think it's going to play out again. So we look at this Bitcoin chart over the course of the year. Now, we have obviously some really nice highs and some crazy lows. But if we look here around this area, I think it was 78 down to like, I forget the exact dip that it was. But regardless, we saw a pretty solid dip about a month ago. And I made a video that the market just showed you its hand. There are 5 coins getting all of the liquidity in crypto. It's Hyperliquid, Venice, BitTensor, Zcash, and 𝗫 Protocol. I think if you're looking to DCA, those are the only 5 coins that you should be concerned about at this point in time. WorldCoin is getting a lot of pull on Twitter, but that feels like a one-off narrative style trade rather than the main characters of the cycle. We are not going to be filling our altcoin portfolio with garbage. We are not looking to accumulate gaming tokens right now or any of that stuff. We are looking at the cycle leaders, and we're going to hold some stable coins on the side. So for me, I'm looking at dips right now on Hyperliquid, BitTensor, Venice, 𝗫 Protocol, and Zcash. I think that Hyperliquid needs to dip a little bit more for the average person to start DCAing, as well as Venice. Venice has just been on an absolute tear. We bought this one at $8, so anyone who entered with us there should be pretty satisfied. But around 200 for BitTensor and at 500 for Zcash, when this was almost trading at $700 just a couple weeks ago, I think those are pretty good positions at this point in time. And then last but not least, a short-term trade that I'm in on currently. And guys, if you're enjoying the content today, like the video and subscribe down below on this new journey on In the Money. Now, looking at a trade that I am in currently, and that's Mega ETH shorts. I mean, if you just look at this chart, this has been by far the best trade to take in crypto for the last few weeks. And you can do this on variational on a perps dex up to 50x leverage. So if you like to play with leverage, you can check out variational down below. We do have an exclusive access code there. But with Mega ETH, I actually entered this short right around 6.8, like 6.8 cents. And ever since then, when I entered this about a week ago, this thing has just been on a freaking free fall. And it makes sense. The token starts dumping almost immediately. Price falls more than 50% within a few weeks, and then drops 70% from its highs. Daily active users are incredibly low. Most activity is just from incentives. It's airdrop farmers coming in, accumulating rewards and then dumping them on the chart. They leave when there's no rewards, and the incentive program is terminated early. Ecosystem feels full of copy DeFi apps from other chains. Mega becomes mega wrecked. I do believe in this thesis. If you look at stuff like Monad, if you look at stuff like Barachain, these new L2s, they are not relevant in today's crypto sphere. Also, they raise too much VC capital to sustain a price. So I am long-term and short-term short on the Mega ETH chart. And if you look here, even the rallies on this thing are very short-lived. So if you have a healthy liquidation price on this, this is something I am currently short on, and I will remain short on, especially if Bitcoin continues to fall. This thing's going to hit 4 cents over the course of the coming weeks, which we will capitalize nicely on a leverage trade, guys. So as always, like the video down below if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe for more, and we will see you tomorrow on another video of In the Money, your one-stop shop for crypto and prediction markets. As always, trade responsibly, my friends, and of course, stay bullish, my friends.